Hey guys, today I wanted to film another raw advice video for you. I haven't done one of these in a while. I say that every time because I suck at doing these. If you're unaware what raw advice is, on my channel I do a once in a while series where I go through a bunch of questions that you guys ask me advice on, or if you want to know about me, if you want to know about anything, and I'll answer them and very honestly and to the best of my ability. I'm not a trained professional by any means, but I just give you my honest and raw opinion because that's what I do. Alright, from Melly Lavi, she says, Kristi, I fucking love you. I have a question and suggestion. Question. I also have PCOS and a freaking hairy face. The thing that you showed is like a man razor. What that trims the hair? What does it feel like when the hair grows back? I've been waxing, but it is a pain in the ass and it's expensive. Anyway, it's like it's a little finishing touch thing, and yes, it does cut the hair. It's like a little razor thing that you use to shave the hair on your face, and I don't find that all it does is just kind of shave it back and then it grows out. But it's not like a close shave. You still have a small little hair there. And it's just nice because it makes your application of your makeup easier. It feels like nothing. It doesn't pull out your hair or anything like that. It doesn't feel like anything when the hair grows back. Maybe a little, it's not pokey or anything. It's really not even an issue. It's so unnoticeable in my opinion. You might have different facial hair than I do. Mine's just like that little peachy fuzz stuff, but if you do, and try it out. See if you like it. If you're too nervous though, you might not want to try it, but I have never had any issues with it. All That Wisconsin 14 says, what are your thoughts on porn? And your thoughts on your husband watching porn if he does or doesn't? It's kind of weird because in some ways I have like a bad negative connotation towards it, and then some ways I'm like, yeah, but it's totally natural to watch. So I don't care one way or the other. If he watches porn, he watches porn, and I'm sure he does. I'm pretty sure everybody does. Maybe not everybody. Not everybody watches porn. I know that I do from time to time, I suppose. I'll be honest with you because I told you that I will be honest with you. I think it's a natural thing. People are sexual beings and people like to watch other people having sex. And do I think it's kind of weird? Yeah, in a lot of ways I think it's kind of weird. But do I also think that a lot of people do it? Yeah, I think it's very natural. I think that people like to hide it and don't want to talk about it because they feel like it's a really taboo thing, but then yet again, everybody does it behind closed doors. Not everybody watches porn, and I think that if you do or if you don't, it doesn't matter. I think if it becomes a problem, then it's a problem. You can get addicted to a lot of things, and porn is one of those things, and if it starts to become a problem, then you might want to address it, but if it's just normal, everyday stuff, I think that it's pretty normal. Kim Lynn C says, I need advice about my kitty cat. We've had her for about 6 months. I'm not sure how old she is, but we did get her. She was still a kid. Anyway, she keeps clawing and scratching at my furniture. My dining set has leather covered chairs and leather ottoman. She is all scratched up now. I've painted all my outdated wood trim in the house white, and she's jumping and clawing up the doorways. It's causing nicks in the new paint. We are slowly remodeling our home and buying new furniture pieces here and there, and I do not want it all scratched up. We did buy her a carpeted cat thing to scratch on, and we have 2 more little girls that give her a lot of attention. I'm not the biggest animal person, so I just don't know what to do to deter the scratching. I also let her go outside when the girls are out there playing. Any advice will help, thank you. That's a tough one. She's asking me this, by the way, because I work at a vet, and I'm sure she thinks that I have the answer for her, and I wish I did, but sometimes cats will just scratch your shit up, and that's just because they're little assholes. Cats are the biggest assholes in this entire world. You can try getting like a spray bottle, and when you hear her do it, like, stop it. My cats don't scratch my stuff anymore because I've made it clear to them that they are not allowed to scratch my stuff. I get them plenty of scratching posts and plenty of scratching things. My cats love to scratch carpet, so I got very lucky in that I don't really care if they scratch my carpet. But just when they go to scratch at it, make them stop, or that little noise. I mean, I know that's kind of weird. It's kind of annoying to have to trail your animals and like, not yell at them, but like, hey, stop it. My cat is like moving every time I do that. He's like, hey, I'm not doing anything. I think that there are things, I wouldn't go to declawing a cat. I'm fairly against declawing your animals, and if you want to know why, I can just shortly get into it. Declawing your animal is an amputation of their first knuckle. So if it'd be as if you were to go to the doctor and remove your fingers here. You aren't just cutting off their nails, you're actually amputating their fingers. When you do that, it's very painful for them, and then what can happen a lot of the times is the healing process is very difficult. You have to change litter, you have to keep them indoors, you have to, the whole thing is very different because they can get infected paws if you keep the same litter, because litter will go up into their wounds, because essentially you've created a wound on every single fingertip of theirs. But another thing that can happen if you declaw a cat is you are encouraging them. Now they don't have any way to defend themselves, so a lot of times cats express themselves by scratching. Well, now you've wanted to make them bite because they don't have their little claws anymore, so they can't tell you no by giving you a quick scratch or letting out their fingernails, so a lot of times they resort to biting, and then you have a real bitey cat, which is not fun either. You can try our soft paws if you want to go that route. You can go to your veterinarian that's local and have them apply soft paws. They're like these little rubber caps on the tips of your cat's fingernails. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. You can get wood. Sometimes if you get a stake of wood and put some carpet on part of it and then not on the other, sometimes that can encourage them to scratch on that. But I really don't have a definitive answer for you. Really, the answer is cats will scratch, and as long as you're okay with dealing with it, you just have to make an effort to make them stop as best you can. I apologize, I don't really have the answer for you. Christine Martinelli says, I have been struggling to keep an ex-fling out of my life since 2007. He's never made me feel of importance, but since getting married last year, he's now confessed feelings for me. He told me that if he would have known how strong my feelings were in the past, maybe we would have been together. I've been in a relationship for 4 years and I love my boyfriend dearly, but somehow I feel like I'm missing something. I realize that it was just sex with this guy, but I can't stop thinking about him. He has tried to friend me numerous times in the past, and for the longest time I would always deny it. I recently accepted his latest attempt to add me, and now he messages me confessing all these things while telling me my boyfriend is a jerk. Days later he'll post pictures outing with his wife and captions of how happy he is. How do I forget this guy? Am I crazy for having mixed feelings being that he's married? Sorry for the long rant. I trust your answer and I think you're an amazing person. This is a really tough situation because I'm dealing with something similar to this in my life right now. It is not with me, it is with somebody that I know. It's very hard because feelings are hard to take away, and they're something that you can't necessarily control, but you can stop the situation at the same time. And now at this point in time, I feel, in my opinion, that you should cut it off. You should say, you're married. If you are unhappy in your relationship, you need to talk to your wife, tell her that you want a divorce, and then you can maybe possibly contact me. But this back and forth he's doing, he's majorly in the wrong here. And in my opinion, you shouldn't allow it to happen because he's being unfaithful to his wife by even talking to you online. If she knew what he was doing, she would be so heartbroken, and sort of put yourself in her situation. This isn't your fault, it's his, but don't make it worse by feeding into his, you don't want him to be led on by you to make you feel like that he thinks it's okay, because it's not okay what he's doing. He is married and he needs to be faithful to his wife, and if he doesn't want to, he needs to divorce her before even possibly pursuing something with you. So in my opinion, you should tell him, I have feelings for you, but we are both in relationships, and so this isn't okay. If you guys really want to be together, he needs to divorce his wife, you need to break up with your girlfriend and then be together. But don't do anything while you two are with other people, because it's not fair to them, it's not fair to you. Sometimes realizing that, if you truly are in love with each other, then you need to make that clear, but don't you ever break up relationships because of lust. Lust is so dumb. Lust is wanting to fuck another person, and then as soon as you do, you immediately regret your decisions and everything around you falls apart. Don't do that. If you guys truly love each other, then break it off with your other significant others gently and be together. But if he's trying to be unfaithful to his wife, that's not okay, and it's not okay for him to do that to you, because you're a good person and you shouldn't be made to feel like, if he wanted to be with you, he certainly could have, but he didn't choose that. So I apologize. I'm not trying to be like yelling at you or anything. It's just that he's in the wrong here, and no. Charlotte Addyman asks, Kristi, I have a question. If you don't want to answer this because it's kind of pathetic. Oh, don't you even worry, girl. I found out this boy in my year likes me, and I don't know what to do because we're not really in the same friendship group and barely talk face to face and only online like every night after school. I'm really not sure what to do because I think I really like him, and I know this is pathetic because my friends would take the piss and I know I shouldn't care what they think, but I do. Please help me. I love you so much. Thank you. I would not worry what your friends think, although I could tell you that right now, but when I was in school, I would have cared what my friends think. If you actually really like him, and it doesn't matter what group you're in, groups in schools mean nothing. I will be honest with you. in school, all that stuff means so much to you, and me telling you that it doesn't matter later in life doesn't mean you're like, yeah, but it matters to me now. But I truly mean, with my heart of hearts, none of that shit matters ever again. The only thing that school wants to tell you that groups matter and people matter and statuses matter and all that stuff is all created in kids' minds. Date who you like, not who your group of people is, because I totally get you on that one. But if you really like somebody, regardless of their status in school, be with them. Who gives a fucking shit what your friends think about you? Who cares? Who fucking cares? I honestly used to care so much what people thought about me, and that stopped me from doing things. And so if you like somebody and he likes you and you guys talk every day and you have things in common, who fucking cares what some bitches think about you in school? And if they're your true friends and they make fun of you for it, then they're not your true friends. That's just the open and shut of it. If you like somebody and you want to be with somebody, be with them. If you don't. Don't even worry what people think about you. All right. Sheet Bob says, Kristi, you're amazing, my favorite YouTuber, hands down. Thank you. I have a question for you, and I know you've touched on this before, but I'm hoping you can help me. I'm turning 30 this year, and all I ever want to be was a stay-at-home mama. In the last 5 years, I've lost some lady parts, and now the probability of children is unlikely. I am devastated, and I can't seem to get over it. I try to look online for self-help guides, but it does not matter what I do. I cannot get over this. What would you suggest? I'm ready to just deal and move on. It takes its own timing. I was obsessed with becoming a mother, obsessed with getting pregnant. It's all I cared about. All I wanted to do was be a stay-at-home mom. All I wanted to do was have my baby and be a mommy and carry my baby around in a sling and blah, blah, blah. All I wanted was to be a mother. I'm serious. The only thing I cared about was becoming a mother. And look at me now, I don't even want kids. And the way that I did that was by finding something that I love in my life and dedicating myself to that 100%. So makeup became my new addiction. And not that buying makeup was my new addiction, but becoming something important to myself. So I'm an artist and I have been my entire life, and I do that by either painting on canvas or drawing pictures or making 3D sculptures or painting my face. And I found that my happiness can come out of something other than being a mother. So find your thing, because right now all you're doing is identifying with motherhood as being the only thing that you even give a shit about. Well, if it's not a distinct possibility, continue trying, because if you want to be a mom, then you want to keep trying. But if it's not something that's realistically going to happen, you can either go full bore at doing IVF and spending all this money on stuff, or if you want to get over it and just learn how to be yourself without being a mother, I found makeup artistry and face painting and special effects makeup artistry, and I throw myself at it 100%. I post to Instagram every single day. I spend all of my spare time filming and editing videos and doing makeup for Instagram, and it doesn't get me a lot of money, but it gets me a lot of satisfaction. I'm a type of person that runs really well off of the approval of others, which is not necessarily a good thing to have, but it's something that's in me and it's always been in me. And so when I get that satisfaction of people telling me online like, oh, I love that makeup look, oh, your videos have really helped me, that helps me, and that helps me move on. And now I don't even want children. When people ask me, you ever gonna have kids? No. The answer is I've become so happy with myself that I don't even care about anything else. I am so happy with my life right now. All you have to do is find something that you love doing and that needs to take up the majority of your time and will get your mind off of that. Maybe you won't get over it, but I sure as hell never thought that I would be okay without having children. And I'm not only okay with not having them, I don't want them. So find your passion in life, no matter what that is, and go full bore into it, and I promise you it will help you take your mind off of it. She wanted to remain anonymous, but I will say her question was, Kristi, I'm 15 and I just got my first boyfriend. I met him this summer. We lost contact but recently connected. I know I'm young and you probably think it's stupid to give a kid relationship advice. Anyway, he's really charming and we care a lot about each other. Both our friends keep telling us we won't last because we're only 15 and love doesn't exist until you're older. We aren't in love since we just started going out, but we care deeply about each other. And basically I'm just wondering if they're right. If this relationship is a waste of my time. I've been a subby for a long while and I love you so much. Thanks. They could be right or they could be wrong. I've been with my husband since I was 17 and I'm 27. He was 15 when we got together. So it is certainly possible to be in love and have a relationship go that long. it's possible because I'm in it right now. We've been married almost 5 years and together almost 10, and we were together in high school. He was 15, he was a sophomore, was he a freshman or a sophomore? I don't even know. But I mean, we're still together and we're still madly in love, and I still love him so, so much. So it's definitely possible to be with somebody that young and have it be real love. So yeah, I would definitely say, in my opinion though, I think that high school is a really cool time to experiment and date people and get to live your life without being in a long-term relationship. Am I regretful of being in one? No. I love my husband to pieces. But I do think high school is a really cool time. You will never get the experience to have that high school feeling ever again. That feeling of excitement, everything's new, everything's exciting and fresh. You're never gonna get that again in your life. This is the most amazing and important time of your childhood to date around, get that exciting feeling. I was in a long distance relationship and a very serious relationship all throughout high school, and because I was a senior when I met my husband. He was a couple years younger than me. So from freshman to senior year, I was in a very serious relationship. I didn't date any other guys. Then I met my now husband in senior year. I've been with 2 people my entire life. And I'm not saying slut it up, but I'm saying it's a really good time to figure out who you are and date around and be excited. But if you're very committed, you can't tell a 15-year-old what to do. So what I can say is, yes, a relationship can work at that age if you really can connect with somebody. But do I think it's a good time to be in a very serious relationship? I think 15 is so young and such a wonderful age, and you have so much you could do. But if you want to, do it. I was, and nobody could have told me otherwise, and hindsight is 20/20, so I can look back and be like, damn, I shouldn't have done that. But I'm married and love my husband, and he was 15 and I was 17. This next question is probably my favorite question I've ever been asked. It's such a good one. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Okay, it's from Tasia Elise. She says, Kristi, I've been wanting to ask you a question for a while, but I didn't know what to ask, and now I have one. My question is, and forgive me if you've answered this before, which I have not, do you have any big YouTubers that you've watched as they got famous, changed, and become fake? I watched a couple of people I liked at first, but as they got more deals and more known, they seem to treat their viewers just as fans, which I think isn't what YouTube was meant for, and also makes it less of a community. And lastly, do you worry that if you got famous and popular, you'd change and be caught up in the fame? What would you do to try and stay down to earth and not get a big head? Love you. It is a topic I have a lot to say about. The answer is totally. I've watched some people, I'm not going to drop names, because what I don't want is a YouTube war. I don't want a bunch of people coming to my channel and being like, Kristi, oh my god, I can't believe you said that about my favorite YouTuber, fuck you! What I do want to say though is, yes. Yes, so much yes! There are definitely people that I've watched online who I've seen become divas from their YouTube fame. I like to use the word fame. I do believe in YouTube fame. I think it's a real thing. Some people are like, you're a makeup artist on YouTube. You could not be famous. Well, yes, you can. When you have millions of subscribers, those are millions of people who know who you are. And what is fame? It's notoriety. It's people knowing who you are. It's people screaming when you walk into a room. There are definitely people that I have seen where I started watching them and I loved their humble, down-to-earth attitude, and then later on they are giant divas who treat their followers like fans, which technically they are fans, but you definitely want to treat them like human beings, because first and foremost, they are the reason we are even here on YouTube and allowed to make these videos, because if nobody watched them, what the fuck are we making them for? Definitely, there are people that I have known online that I have watched and just watched them think very highly of themselves, and that's fine. When a lot of people follow you, I totally get it. What would I do? Well, I would realize that I put makeup on my face and put videos online. I keep myself very grounded in that I will never feel famous from this. I mean, I guess if I had millions of subscribers, it would be a little overwhelming, but I definitely wouldn't treat anybody differently, because I can tell you right now, from 100 subscribers that I had in the beginning to the 25,000 I have now, the number is a number. It feels the same. I feel like I still have the same audience interaction. I feel like I have the same viewers. I get a lot more comments and stuff, but I don't feel big-headed or famous. I mean, I'm not though. I have a very, very low number. Maybe if I had millions of people and making memes about me and stuff, I might be like, damn, this is crazy. But I definitely don't feel like anything would really ever change about me as far as my personality and my, I honestly believe the way I would keep down to earth is by saying these things to myself. If I had millions of subscribers, this is me talking to myself, okay? You put makeup on your face. You're an artist, but so are a lot of other people. You make videos on YouTube. You have an internet. You put stuff on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat. Like, keep down to earth that I'm a human being. I still work at a veterinary hospital, so I still have a real, like, day job. I think it changes a lot of things when YouTube becomes your life, because then you're online all the time and you're just, the way it feels when you're a YouTuber, and I am a fairly small channel, but the way it feels, I get why it goes to people's heads. It's not gonna go to mine, I promise. But I get why it does, because this is what it's like. You post a picture on Instagram, let's say, and like me right now, like I'm getting close, I'm like right around like 8,000 followers on Instagram, which is nuts to me, but anyway. And you get 50 comments of people loving you and telling you, oh my gosh, you're amazing, you're incredible, you're an amazing makeup artist. They draw pictures of you, they send you stuff. And having nothing but positivity and people loving you coming your way is an excellent feeling. And I can only imagine when they get millions of people doing that to them, it goes to your head. It must. And so, do I think it would ever happen to me? No. Am I gonna definitely stay grounded? Yeah. Do I think that there are people online that need a serious reality check? Yes. Do I think that any of us are different? No. Because at the end of the day, if that building falls on me and that building falls on you, our bodies laying there are the same bodies. Guess what? You and me, we're the same. If you've ever eaten a Subway foot-long turkey sandwich, well, so have I. We're the same. We're both the same people. You may have more dollars in your bank account, but we're the same. We're both humans. We're both entitled to respect. And do I think anybody deserves it over another? Fuck no. Do I think that people need to calm down a little bit online about their fame and notoriety? Yeah. Do I get why they do it? Yeah. Do I think I'm ever going to succumb to it? No. Katie Makes Faces asks, when you say you cut out sugar, do you mean all sugars are added and refined sugars, like no fruit or anything? Fruit or anything? Maybe that's what I need to do, but I fucking love fruit. Okay, Katie Makes Faces. Well, I'm gonna go back to my low carb self before Generation Beauty, because since Generation Beauty, I've been doing nothing but eating carbs. I literally ate 2 bowls of Captain Crunch for breakfast this morning. 2. Do you think anybody needs that much Captain Crunch? No. No. Yesterday, I ate Captain Crunch all day. Why Captain Crunch, you ask? Well, because I love cereal. It's my favorite food in the entire world, and I didn't get to eat it for months, and now I'm back on cereal. And you might wonder, well, you said that they helped with your cluster headaches and your skin and everything, and that's correct. Right now my skin is shit, and I've been getting more cluster headaches, but you know what? I missed carbs. The answer to your question is, I cut out everything. When I wasn't eating carbs, I wasn't eating any sugar at all, not even fruit. And man, is fruit delicious. I've been eating the shit out of fruit in the last couple of weeks. Keep fruit, just eat healthy. If you want to try cutting out carbs, just cut out breads, pastas, rice, refined carbs, but go ahead and keep sugar in fruits. Bananas are the highest in sugar, but fruit is definitely healthy for you. I'm never going to say that it isn't. Berries are the lowest in carbs, so if you're looking to lower your carbs, which I lost a lot of weight and I felt really good and stuff like that. I still feel good. I feel really fat, and my skin has not been so good. But as far as other than that, I'm sorry. I'm definitely probably gonna go back to eating low carb soon, but I've been eating so much Captain Crunch, like I want to go eat more right now. Savannah Cleveland asks, Kristi, first off, you're incredibly gorgeous and I look up to you as a person. Thank you. You're so strong and genuine. It's just a great plus that you're hilarious. I watch every video of yours because I know it'll make me giggle, and I know I'm getting real info. Gosh, you're so nice. Thank you. I need your input on family loss, how to cope, and how to comfort other family. I just lost my 24-year-old cousin to a 4-wheeling accident, and I just don't know what to do. He and my brother were born 2 weeks apart, and we're just so close. His brothers and his mother are torn apart. Oh gosh, that's a really tough one. I don't have an answer for you that is probably as helpful as knowing that time is the only thing that makes it better. It's the only definitive answer that I have in coping with loss. Talking to each other, reminiscing sometimes doesn't really help, sometimes it makes it worse, but being there for each other and just knowing that we are all gonna die, and that's a horrible thing to think about, but the fact of the matter is that it happened and you have to deal with it in some way or another, and knowing that you guys have each other, and what loss and death really do is that it shows you to be really good to the people that you have here on this earth, because they can be taken away from you in an instant. So love each other, tell each other that you love each other so much, and really, that's my best effort. I don't have a lot to say other than that, because when my mom died, I was a basket case, you guys. A basket case. I didn't have any advice, and I still really don't. Just live a good life, be a good example, and realize that crying is okay. Don't let self-destruction become a norm for you. Don't start drinking and doing drugs and stuff like that. That stuff never helps. If anything, it makes it worse. So talk a lot and understand your feelings, and breaking down and bawling your face off is totally normal, and just be there for each other. That's all I can tell you, because it's really the only thing that's going to help, and time is the only thing that really heals. Elizabeth V asks, what is your favorite kind of cheese? Any advice for aspiring artists? Do you like to draw and paint? If so, can you show us? Good questions. I like those questions. Elizabeth, what is my favorite kind of cheese? Well, I'm a cheddar cheese liker. It's my favorite kind of cheese. Medium cheddar cheese. I like sharp, but it doesn't melt as good. Medium cheddar. It's just so good. I like smoky cheeses, like smoked cheddar cheese, but they're not something I could eat all the time, but cheddar cheese is one that I could eat all the time. It's not very adventurous. I'm not a fan of like moldy cheeses. I can eat them, but I'm just like not a huge fan, but I just really like a good medium to sharp cheddar. Any advice for aspiring artists? Do art every single day. That is my advice. I don't have a great one for you, but the more I practice on myself and photo editing and doing art and doing all of that stuff, the better I get. I've gotten so much better since practicing and doing it every single day. That is my best advice, is to practice often and just love what you do and try new things, even if it means failing or doing really weird stuff. Don't make excuses, just do it. Do I like to draw/paint? Drawing and painting I used to be really into. I used to do a lot of charcoal drawings. I used to do a lot of portrait painting. I have gotten a lot out of that. I really don't enjoy it as much as I do painting on myself. I'll try and insert a couple of pictures here of some art that I have done, but I'm way more into body painting and face art and special effects. It is like my thing, whereas drawing art I like a lot, and I used to love doing, and I used to love 3D art like sculpting, but I've really strayed away from that, and I'm really into doing body art now. Adriana Lira says a bunch of really nice stuff. My goodness, thank you. I'm having a loss of trouble with my hair becoming so thin. I'm literally losing hair every day. I feel so helpless. I comb my hair after a shower and shitloads falls out. I just started taking a vitamin called biotin. I have PCOS, so I guess there's a reason for it. Do you have any tips, suggestions, of answers that might help? I would greatly appreciate it. Well, managing your PCOS is going to help a lot, keeping that endocrine disorder in line. I would probably say one of the best things to do would be to consult a doctor, maybe get on medications to help, because PCOS does cause thinning hair, and I can tell you that I've lost a lot of hair. But I've also managed my PCOS from switching to a low-carb diet or whatever I've done. Granted, I've eaten so many carbs in the last couple weeks that I could like throw up a loaf of bread. I can say that I've had a period every single month, and I've really regulated it. I don't feel like hormonally crazy anymore. I don't have many of those bad symptoms anymore. And a lot of that was just changing my eating habits and things like that. So I can tell you that managing your PCOS is going to be number one. Other than that, you can wear tape and hair extensions. I have a lot of videos all about them. I'll try to link them in the description of this video. Can make your hair appear fuller without damaging your hair at all. And so you could try those. It really helped me out a lot when I was losing a lot of hair. I have videos where I honestly used to lose so much hair. It was crazy, like handfuls of hair every time I would take a shower. I mean, it was scary because I don't have very much to begin with. So, I mean, my hair has really thickened up a lot recently. It's still very thin. It looks thicker than it really is. It's very thin, like, it's very, very, very sad. Your hair is falling out due to hormones, so get those in check. A lot of times reducing sugar can reduce the symptoms of PCOS because your body is insulin resistant, most likely if you have polycystic ovarian syndrome. So cutting out sugar can really help because then it doesn't spike your blood sugar and then have more insulin, which causes hair loss and acanthosis nigricans and all those bad symptoms that really suck with PCOS. So maybe try reducing the amount of sugar that you eat and the amount of carbs and see if that really helps, because it really helped me. Erica Marie asks, how did you start getting comfortable filming yourself or for YouTube? And when did you decide on your profession? I'm going to college taking my basics now, but I can't decide on a profession to get into. Oh, that's a tough one. Well, I don't really necessarily consider my job a profession. I am a receptionist at a veterinary hospital, so I really just answer phones, make appointments, triage calls and things like that, but I don't feel like I have a career. As far as makeup artistry goes, I don't really want to be a makeup artist where I work on clients for like weddings and stuff like that. It's just not what I enjoy at all. I enjoy the special effects side so much more. There's not a lot to do in that field where I live. So realistically, social media makeup artistry is way more of a reality for me if I can actually get going. It takes a lot longer than one might think unless you're very, very good, which I am mediocre and I need to get better, and don't tell me I'm not, because I get you. My videos need to be better in quality and editing, and I need to get better stuff, and I just need to post more and do more. It's hard though. It's really hard if you don't know the right people, have the right connections, stuff like that. So anyway, how did I get comfortable filming myself? Well, I just do it all the time. Now, I used to hate hearing my voice, and now it doesn't bother me anymore. When you sit down and you edit a video and it takes you 3 hours to edit and you have to listen to your stupid voice that entire time, trust me, you start becoming comfortable around the camera because you realize the things that you do and the things that you hate that you do. It never was a problem for me because I just talk to the camera as if I'm talking to a friend or a normal person. It's not weird to me at all anymore. It was in the beginning. It took me like 12 hours to film a video before because I was caring so much about what I was saying and I would start over all the time. Now, one take, that's it. I just talk like I'm talking to a friend. I literally just talk, and it's no problem at all. I'm still working on that, girl. I'm not fully figured out what this is going to even be. I really hope that one day this can be my career, and until then, I'm just going to keep working at the vet. I know I love animals, and I was a wildlife rehabber for many years, and what happened with that is I got fired from my job. I didn't get fired, but the business went out of business. I had no choice but to be jobless, and during that time I went on unemployment and I worked as a volunteer at a wildlife rehab while I was looking for another job. And during that time, I realized I love animals and I love working with them. I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna just work with animals. And I did, and that opened up me working as a full-time wildlife rehabber, which then opened up my career in veterinary, and I could go further if I wanted to, but I don't. I like my job that I have right now in veterinary because I'm interested in other things, and it's a kind of transition job for me until I can become a special effects makeup artist. XX Renoa 125XX. Her question was, I'm Jane and I have a friend issue. I'd really like your raw advice on it. The explanation may be a little long, so I'm sorry for that. I've been friends with this girl for about 6 years and we weren't really close until she moved near me. For the last year, she's been annoying the actual crap out of me. It's not like I don't want to be friends with her anymore. It's just whenever she's back from uni, she's constantly wanting to hang out, but she never really does anything I want to do. She does ask me, but it's like she completely ignores me and does whatever she wants or was planning on doing anyway. I went so far as taking piles of games and films to her house, and she just turned on the TV and watched the same show she always does. I also feel like there's no real emotional give back from her. I'm always there when she's feeling crappy, and I listen and I'm sympathetic and really try to help. I have really bad depression for a long time, which my friends are not aware of. I hardly ever tell anyone my problems or if I'm feeling sad, so a few times I have, it's been things that have been really, really important to me. And there hasn't been a single time that she's tried to make me feel better. She just looks at me like I have no right to any feelings or says things that make me want to run home and cry in the dark. I don't have a lot of friends anyway, and it really sucks that I can't talk to her when it's important. I feel like she doesn't ever get or understand anyone at all, and everything she does or the way she reacts is really frustrating to me. Example, on Valentine's Day, I'm single so I was feeling crappy anyway, she was sending me pictures of the presents her boyfriend gave her, and because I didn't acknowledge it, she spammed me about 10 separate photos of them. Or I bought a €20 headset just so I could Skype with her just so I could Skype her without yelling at my computer at 11 p.m. and when my younger brother is trying to sleep and has school. And the first time I used it, she asked me not to use it anymore because there really was a faint humming sound. There are just other friends of hers that I've just ignored her and never spoken to her again, and I really don't want it to come to that because I know she has problems too, like having spinal surgery and panic attacks. I just don't know how to talk to her about this stuff because I feel like if I don't, I'm just going to lose it and end up telling her to go fuck herself. How and what can I say to her to get her to realize she's driving me insane and making me feel like crap without sounding like a total bitch? P.S. I love you and I'm so glad I found your channels. You're funny and give some really great advice. Gosh, thank you so much. Jane, that fucking sucks, girl. I don't have an excellent answer for you because I'm not the best at confronting people. When somebody tells me, like if I have somebody that I really don't like, I'm like a cut them off type of person. But I have confronted people in the past, and what I can tell you is that it might be a good idea if you sit down with her and be like, look, can we just talk for a minute? Shut off all social media and stuff and be like, look, I feel like when we talk, there's not a lot going on your end. I wanted to make sure everything was okay with you because, or with us, because sometimes I feel like I'm giving a lot and you're not giving a lot back to me. I just wanted to make sure there was nothing you wanted to talk about, or if I did something to upset you, kind of trying to turn it back around on her and say, you know, just for a long time I felt like maybe you know, have a problem with me, or because you don't really seem to really care about what I'm trying to say, or, you know, try and turn it back around on her in a way that makes it to where it's almost like she is going to be like, oh my god, no. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, do you have a problem? Is there something going on? Because lately I've kind of felt like I don't get a lot out of you, or, you know, or realistically, what I would do is I wouldn't hang out with her anymore. But just let her know that you want it to be a two-way friendship and you feel like you're not getting out of it what you hoped you would, and I really love you and I really love being your friend, but sometimes it feels like it's kind of a one-way friendship and it kind of hurts my feelings. Sometimes when you tell somebody that something hurts your feelings, it's all it takes for them to be like, oh my god, I had no idea. And if she doesn't react that way, well then maybe she's not somebody you want to be friends with. You kind of have the answer in there all yourself. You know what this friendship you want out of it, and you know what it's not. So you know what to say to her. I don't know her. I don't know how she's going to react, but it's really hard having those shitty conversations with your friends, and I wish I had a better answer for you other than telling you to confront her and say it in as nice a way as possible. If she doesn't get it, she's not going to get it. Some people just don't get shit. Maybe she won't. Maybe she'll be like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I love you so much. I never want you to feel that way. Or maybe she'll be like, what are you even fucking talking about? And if she acts that way, well then she's kind of a bitch, you know what I'm saying? So you kind of know the answer. It's hard for me to tell you what exactly verbatim to say because I don't know her. If I met her and I could tell her personality, I could definitely give you a good idea of what to say. But some people are crazy and they don't take criticism well, and she might be one of those people, or she might be one that's just like really apologetic and everything works out. So I'm really sorry. I feel like that was not a very good answer. Kelly Ganung. Sorry, Kelly, that was probably butchering it. When you and your husband decided to try for kids, how did you know it was the right time? My husband and I have been married for almost 5 years and we just want to move on to the next stage of our lives. We both want kids, but we live in a really expensive area and I feel like we'll never feel ready. I'm only 24, so I know we still have time, and I've always wanted kids and I just feel like it will never be the right time. That is a really tough one. I felt emotionally like it was the right time to decide to have children. It was never a question of being ready because I am a firm believer in that you'll never fully be ready. Now, if you're homeless or if you have a situation like that, you're definitely not ready to bring a child in this world because they really need a lot. But emotionally, whenever you feel like you two are on the same page, that's probably a good time. Financially and the whole situation, as long as you think that you can financially support a child, you are ready. I mean, there's really no specific light that's gonna pop on your head. There might be. With me, my biological clock told me. I was like, yep, ready to be a mama. Because every time I saw a baby, I would be like, oh, I love babies. And I just wanted to be around children. I wanted to go to school to be a doula. I wanted to become a midwife. I just needed to be with babies. And I just felt like, oh, I needed to be a mother. And then that same biological clock turned off in my head when I decided I didn't want to become a parent. So honestly, whenever you feel emotionally ready, and if that's now, 24 is not too young to have children. But if you want to wait till you're 30, do it. If you want to wait till you're 27, do it. Just both be on the same page and both be ready to know that once you have a children, regardless of what you think, your lives will completely 100% change. Candace asks, I've recently had a major argument with one of my closest friends, which was over me being in love with her brother. I've felt this way for over 5 years. I really can't see why it would be a problem when it was mutual, but she just hates the idea, so we didn't make it into something serious. I thought that she would be over it by now, but it's been 4 months and she's still avoiding me. What do I do? Forget about him and save the friendship, or tell her she has to deal with it? I'm not a nasty person, so I'd hate to tell her just to accept it. Help. Feel so helpless. Hope this made sense. I'd probably ask her like what her problem is with you two being together. I honestly can't understand that if it's mutual and you both really like each other. If it's a mutual relationship and you both really like each other, that doesn't make any sense to me that she would have a problem with it. Ask her like, what is it about this relationship that has you so on edge? I mean, you just don't like the idea of what? Me loving? So two people, regardless of if they're related to friends or not, can love each other. And if she has a problem with that, well, I'd probably just be with the guy and be like, sorry, that's your problem. I really like him and he really likes me, so regardless of our friendship, we can still like each other. I can't understand her side, so definitely ask her and say, what is your problem with the relationship? And if she has no rightful answer, try to talk her through it and be like, look, this is the way it is, and I'm sorry, but our feelings for each other are there, and I hope you can get on board because I love you very much and I want you to be a part of my life. But if you're unable to be a part of it because of the fact that I was your friend and he's your brother, then I'm sorry, but if the relationship with him is that important to you, that's what I would do. Selena Ray says, girl, how did you become a partner right away? I still haven't made a dime from YouTube. I don't know. When I just switched over to my channel and like immediately gave me that option to start monetizing my videos, I don't know. Check into that, because I feel like it's an option right there. Just monetize your videos. I still make hardly anything from YouTube at 25,000 subscribers, so definitely doesn't, I mean, I feel like I get a decent amount of views, so don't feel that bad. The amount of money that you make, even when you have an okay following, still is not very much money. Lynn's Roy asks, what helped you put yourself and channel out there to gain more viewers? I recently started a beauty channel. I'd love some advice on how to gain more viewers and subscribers. Well, I recently got asked this question from a friend on that I know in my real life who started a channel recently, and really, honestly, it is whoring yourself out online. So have people do call to action in each video. Ask people to follow you on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. I do that in every video. Interact with your viewers and subscribers. Be normal in your videos. Be just 100% real and normal. Don't act like anybody that you're not, because I can tell you right now, there are like 200,000 basic bitch beauty gurus on YouTube. And the reason that people stick out and get more subscribers is because they are original and normal and do their own thing. And you also have to be good at your trade. So you have to have a good lighting and quality of videos and editing. Editing is really important. Edit out all the ums and breathing and weirdness that gets put into a video. Also, knowing people is really important. You may not think that that's a big part of it, but a lot of the big YouTubers that you've seen have had mentions from other big YouTubers. That's kind of the way that it works. It's all in who you know, and I've said that a million times in my life, but it's true. It's all in who you know, and if you want to, you know, you gotta make friends online. Make friends. Message people. Comment on stuff often. Become friends with people. And not just for views and subscribers and stuff like that, but it's a community online, and people say that it's not anymore, but it definitely is. So make your friends online, and that really helps in general anyway. And I don't ever make friends with the intention of anything coming out of it online, but interaction is good. So when subscribers comment on your stuff, comment back and talk to them and just be real with people. And that is how you get your stuff out there, by being real, having people find you, and then they will mention you. And that is how you get subscribers. I've had a lot of people just find me and then mention me in videos, and I get a few more subscribers, and then they might, and a few more, and a few more. And then it just starts coming in. So I'm still a relatively small channel in the grand scheme of things, obviously, but it's taken a few years, you know, time and dedication, and that's really it. Holly H asks, my question is about infertility. My husband and I have been trying for 2 years and I have PCOS. Lately I've been shutting down and not wanting to do anything. I'm so frustrated that I can't have a baby. How did you get over the desire to want a baby? I don't know what I want to do in life other than be a mom. Any advice? I answered that earlier with the same question. You have to find that thing, because I'm telling you, I didn't want to be anything other than a mom either. And you may not be able to get over it. 2 years is not very long. We tried for over 5 before I just decided I can't do this anymore. So I would definitely just, you have to find a way to cope with it in your own way. Whether that be finding a career that you love to do and doing that career, going to school, finding a hobby that you love and just throwing yourself into it 100%. I can't tell you how you're gonna find your way to get over it, but I can tell you that that's what I did. Angel says, I would like advice on a long distance relationship. My boyfriend and I will be celebrating our 3-year anniversary in 1 day, which was over a month ago. So happy anniversary, sorry. Lately I've been having feelings that we are not going to work out since I've shared everything to him. But I feel like I've shared everything to him. I feel like I barely know him. He barely told his grandmother that we were dating this year. When I told my parents on our 13-month anniversary, I feel like is keeping secrets from me. And every time I try to talk to him about this, but he just brushes it off. And I'm to the breaking him point. Breaking up with him point? Anyway, my question is, what would you do in this situation? Also, can I just say you're extremely beautiful and you inspire me to pursue my channel. Thank you. Angel, that's really nice. If I felt that way, I would have a real heart-to-heart talk with him and say, look, I feel like I've given you all of me and you've given me a fraction of you, and I want to know who you are. And if you don't, you know, if it's not a two-way street and you feel that way, get out of it now before you don't want to be with somebody for the long haul who you're not 100% with. I feel like I know every secret and every in and out and every crevice of my husband and his relationship, and he knows me. I mean, we have talked and talked and talked and talked, and we've also seen every little bit of each other, and he knows everything about me. I know everything about him, and I feel like that's the way that it should be. And if you are already having these feelings like it may not work out, then you already have your answer. So I would definitely say that you should have that heart-to-heart talk with him and say, I feel like if we're going to make this work, we both need to be in it 100%. And if it's not, then I might just go with your gut, because I feel like you already know the answer. Just a Touch of Blush XO asks, I have a question. So my channel is tiny, really tiny, like 100 views a video, if that. And I put up the video the other day called Storytime, my son's story malpractice. Cried a lot in that video like an idiot, but one day I hit 1,000 views and gained 96 subscribers. That's not a lot to most, but to me, yeah. So I'm torn because I love makeup. But do you think I should go towards the more storytelling videos and leave makeup out? Torn. P.S. You're amazing. Thank you for that. Thank you. I think, in my opinion, if you like doing those videos more, don't do makeup because you think makeup is a good way to get big on YouTube. Because, yeah, it may be in the long run, though, in my opinion, I like storytelling videos a hell of a lot more than I like watching makeup tutorials. Now, some people love watching makeup, or you can combine the two like I do on my channel. I do makeup tutorials and I do storytelling videos. And yeah, I find that to be true with my videos too. My makeup tutorials get like 1/3 of the views of my raw advice videos or my rant videos. So I think in YouTube people like real. I get that comment all day long, is that people like me because I'm real. And if your video is very real and raw, people like to hear that. I know I love watching videos where people are talking to me about their lives. So yeah, if you enjoy that, because like this type of video I enjoy so much more than doing makeup tutorials. Now granted, I love doing special effects makeup, but I don't like filming it because I can't feel like my full creative self when I'm trying to make a video at the same time. Sometimes I can, but not every time. So anyway, if you think that that's a good way to go, I think it's a great way to go, because I know personally I love watching talking videos. TJ Melissa Hopkins says, okay, I need advice about Snapchat. I've downloaded it several times and I don't get it. How does it work? My husband loves it and he gets all paranoid because he thinks all I think about is sexting pictures because I get deleted after 3 seconds or whatever. I can't figure out why anyone would like it so much. Help me. So I can start following you and him. Well, Snapchat, let's just pop it up here on my phone. On the bottom left here is snaps that people have sent you. And then on this side are people that you follow on Snapchat, so you just have to know their username and stuff like that. And I'm just gonna pull up, so it's like Desi Perkins. So you just click on her and it'll show you her snaps. And then you can tap it.
Hey everyone. So I did the most with my hair today. It's like super big.
Yes, it is. Anyway, so you can watch their snaps, and basically once you've watched them, if it's on their story, so a snap, so I'm gonna Snapchat right now. Hey guys, I'm filming a raw advice video and I am Snapchatting. Here is everything because I am teaching one of my viewers about Snapchat. So you'll see this in the video. Hey guys, I'm filming a raw advice video and I am Snapchatting. There's a little box with a plus on the bottom. You click that and it adds to your story. In your story, it shows all of the things you've added to your story in the last 24 hours. So then if you click on my story up here, yes, this is legitimately what I look like right now. I'm about to get in that bath because I got cramps, girl, and this is all coming off. And then you can see like all the things that I've posted, and then that's my Snap story. So your question, can you send naked booby pics to people that they can only see for 2 seconds? Yes, but that's not what I use Snapchat for. So it's very easy to use if you need another tutorial on it. I mean, you can go through and it'll teach you kind of how to use it, but people who send you stuff here, you can view it, but once you've viewed it, you can't view it again, so it's very crappy. Taylor Nicholson asks, what were your thoughts on changing your last name when you got married? For years I thought I would take my boyfriend's name upon marriage, and now I'm not so sure. It just seems like an outdated practice, but I totally get the reasoning and connection it can bring. I took my husband's last name when we got married. I like my maiden name. It is unique and I've never heard anybody with it, and my new married name is not so unique, but I love my husband and I'm happy I changed it. It doesn't bother me at all. It did at first. I was kind of like, really, I really don't want to change it because I really like my maiden name and I felt like it just made me who I was and it connected me to my family, but I do like my married name as well too because it's my husband's, so you don't have to if you don't want, or you can hyphenate, and I think it is an old practice, but if you want to do it, you definitely should, and if you don't, my husband couldn't have cared less if I did or didn't take his last name. I'm sure he doesn't care a lot about that kind of stuff, so yeah. But if you don't want to do it, we'll talk to your husband about it and see if hyphenating or not doing it is cool. Alyssa asks, my question is about me and my boyfriend. We've been together for a year and a half, and we're only 18 years old, but we're really in love with each other and kind of inseparable. It doesn't bother me or him that we're always together, but it seems to bother our friends and our family. Everyone says I should stop spending so much time with him and start doing more things for myself, but I just don't see it that way, and neither does he. What should I do? Should I ignore what everyone else says like I have been and trying to spend some time away from my boyfriend? Sorry, I hope this question makes sense. I think that spending time together is amazing. I think spending time apart is necessary. I think that it is important in a relationship to not only spend time with your significant other, but also other people, because otherwise you'll start to kind of push those people away. And I get what they're saying. I also get what you're saying. I'm the type that's like, who fucking cares if you want to spend time? If I want to spend time with them all the time, why do you care? I was the same way. Zach and I would only spend time together, and we basically pushed everybody else away, and then we didn't have any friends left after that, and then we were like, we want friends. I want people that aren't you, because after a while, when you know everything about each other and you spend all that time together, you're like, I'm kind of bored of you and I want to hang out with other people. Do love my husband. I also do love having friends. You guys can do whatever your prerogative is, though. If you love spending time together, spend time together, but I also wouldn't shut out all of your other friends, because if you guys are going to be together for the long haul, you guys are going to see plenty of each other, so definitely spend time with other people as well. Sarah asks, I apologize in advance because this is super long. Okay, recently I started liking a guy who lives about an hour away, which isn't an issue because it's a super easy drive and I wouldn't mind making the drive frequently to see him since his car is completely fucked due to an accident. Anyway, I recently, 2 months ago, went through my first breakup, which was really bad and made no sense. My ex was incredible until the end. He turned into a major asshole without explanation. I'm finally completely over him due to finding out that he's a liar and just talks to me when he wants sex. I always turn him down because he's terrible for him to ask. I had nothing in common with my ex because we still got along well. This guy that I like now is the first guy I've liked since my breakup, and everything in common we have everything in common. We like the same music, we both have tattoos and piercings. He has a lot, we have both like other things. My issue is that I never really realized I liked him until he called me out on a little less than a week ago. He told me that he was already talking to someone, and it kind of hurt a little, but I got over it. I still kept flirting, and he kind of did too. About 3 days ago, we met in person for the first time, and he wasn't the least bit awkward. We got along really well and had a ton of fun. I think he did too. Later that day, I realized I actually liked him and totally felt different. I've been having huge urges to go talk to him, but he's like all I think about. But since then, he's been talking to me a little less. It kind of worries me, even though I know he doesn't feel the same way about me. I keep thinking he's probably busy, or that he's never usually that busy. It bothers me a lot when he posts stuff to Snapchat but won't text me back. I don't want to bother him by texting him a lot because I know that would just push him away more. I keep hoping that one day he'll feel the same way about me. Do you have any advice on what I should do to keep my own anxiety and stress down about the situation? I really like him and I don't want to fuck up our friendship or the chance that he could like me eventually. It's been bringing down my mood a lot lately and I don't want to deal with it. Once again, I apologize for the really long question and explanation. That's a tough situation that you're in. It's hard for me to fully understand, but I would say I would leave the ball in his court at this point and see if he messages you back. I've said this in many previous videos, but you're right to say that it may push him away to message him more. And maybe he's not into it the way you are, or maybe he is. It's hard to know, but if you leave the ball in his court, he'll let you know if that's the case. Just be very aloof and see kind of where that takes you, because if you don't want to ruin your friendship with each other, you're right. If you message him a lot and he doesn't message you back, you kind of know where you stand in that situation. Guys are pretty transparent that way. I've said that in the past too, and I stick by that. So I apologize if I don't have a better answer for you, but I think that the way to know if he's into it as much as you are is to just leave the ball in his court. To help your anxiety on the situation, try to stop messaging him or thinking about him. I don't know where, this was like a month ago that I made this video, and so this may not even be the most helpful. It was like 2 weeks ago. But if you guys are meant to be together, you will be. In that situation, I would just relax, breathe, realize that it's a guy. I know that it's very hard when you really like somebody, you just really want to be with them, but I definitely would just do things for yourself. Stop messaging him and thinking about him. Just be yourself and be awesome and confident and do what you do, and he'll see that and either really like it or shy away from it. So leave him alone. I definitely would, and just kind of see where he takes this whole relationship, and if it's nowhere, then you know where you stand, but if it is, then you can kind of go from there. And it sucks to have to leave everything in their hands because women are emotional and men usually aren't. So you kind of know, you already kind of know what to do. I think that it's a shitty situation. I hate that guys do this to us, but sometimes they do. Insomniac asks, "Hi, my name is Sam. Feel free to paraphrase or cut some of this out as it is long," which I could do, or I could just read it. "I'm nearly 17. I've been dating my boyfriend for about 6.5 months and now knew him pretty well for about another 2 to 3 months before that. We are going to be seniors this fall, and I like to think we have a very strong relationship. We don't hide shit, and we communicate pretty well. My question is one that I know is going to be hard to answer, and I don't expect a completely solid one, but more of an opinion from someone wiser, for lack of a better word. I told him I loved him on February 1st, which I remember because it was his brother's birthday. I hadn't intended to, or even a second before I did, because I was completely sure it was just sort of came out of my mouth on its own accord. I still fought myself over whether I meant it for the next week or so, but ultimately came to the conclusion I did. I have a very particular idea of what I think love is, and while it may change later, what I feel towards him now meets that standard, or if anything is stronger. My question is whether you think realistically I actually do, or if I'm just another naive teenager who wants too much too soon. I know it all depends on how strong it is, which I can only know is the best, but it's silly to think I can be in love at my age. I don't advertise this either. When my family jokingly says, 'You do because you love him,' often they are true, but to me, it has more serious meaning than that cheap, I love you's a couple together for 3 weeks and then never talk again. I almost don't want people to know I love him, because should I ever come out and say it, I want to be taken seriously, not have someone roll their eyes and pat my head and say, 'That's what all teenagers say.'" I totally get you on this, by the way. I appreciate any feedback you can give me on this. I love to hear your opinions. Thanks for being awesome. Thank you, Sam. I've said it before, you're 17, you can certainly be in love at 17. Like I said, I met my now husband when I was 17 and I'm 27. So love is a very loaded word and people throw it around, and I believe that when you're in love, you know, and if you're having a hard time knowing if you are or not, you sound very smart and like you know what's up. You don't sound stupid by any means or like you don't know what you're talking about. If you want to be taken seriously, then let it ride out a little while before you can say you love somebody, but you seem to know what love is, and love isn't something you have to convince yourself of. It's something that you can feel and know. When I knew I loved my husband that I'm with now, there was no question in my mind. It felt right. I was like, oh my God, I literally am infatuated with you. I love you so much. And that is the way that love feels. You look at somebody and you're just like, oh my God, I love you so much. You know, you have that feeling in you. Don't let anybody tell you that because you're 17 you can't love. You certainly can. I was madly in love with my husband at 17. Madly. I mean, the first time I saw him, I was like, oh my God, I love you so much. And yes, I was 17, but that's an age. That is a number. That doesn't mean anything. You can certainly love when you're a teenager. And I am living proof of that because we're still together almost 10 years later. And those are all the questions from YouTube. I will try and go to my Facebook and see if there are any questions there, which I think there are. I really like this boy and he knows I like him, and I think he likes this other girl. I have told him I like him and I think we are just friends, but he keeps flirting with me and I'm getting really mixed ideas, but he flirts with nearly every girl. What should I do? Should I ask him out or just be friends? The things he calls me fit and everything. What's your opinion? Thank you so much. That's really tough. I would say you told him that you liked him. Did he say anything back? Did he give you any hints that he likes you? I mean, maybe I would just come out and tell him, like, do you like me? I would probably ask that question, like, do you like me? Do you want to be with me? And if he's like, yeah, no, then you've got your answer. But if he's really flirty with all girls, that's a really tough one because some guys are just like that. So I would definitely, if you let him know you liked him, I would leave the ball in his court, like I've said before, because if he does, then he'll show you based on other advances. And if you're confused, maybe be like, so I really like you. Do you like me back? Someone who wants to remain anonymous. The question is for, I'm 17 and I live in London, England. Me and my boyfriend have been together for 3 years and I absolutely love him. We've known each other since we were 7 and we've known each other since year 7, so we were 11 years old. We've been best friends for ages and he is my best friend. However, I feel like I can't fully give myself to him. This is because I also love a guy I've known since I was 6 years old. Our families are really close and we are amazing friends. We used to be in bands together and we were all in the same class through secondary school. We always had a flirty relationship and liked each other, but it never happened for us. Now he has moved to a different school for musicians and has a girlfriend who is lovely and super beautiful. I really don't know what to do. I feel like if the guy I like told me nothing would happen between us, or if we'd kissed or something, I might have closure, but now I really don't know. It kills me because my boyfriend is so perfect and supportive and patient and kind and all the good things. I really need your help because I'm so confused. I don't want to end my relationship or end my friendship. Should I come clean to my boyfriend and tell him I'm trying to fix this? Should I meet up with the other guy in private and confess? Should I keep it to myself and just hope it doesn't depress me for much longer? Thank you for reading this. Oh God, that's a really tough one. The answer is not so cut and dry. You do you. I am so sorry for that answer, but here's the thing. This just recently happened to somebody that I know, and it came out in the open that she really loved another guy who was married, and the situation isn't with you that he's married, but he has a girlfriend and you have a boyfriend that you really love, and the situation didn't end well. It didn't end with these fairy tale they're gonna be together thing. It ended poorly, and you can come clean to your boyfriend, but know that may end the relationship. You can come clean to the other guy, but you also need to know that he may not reciprocate those feelings, and you may leave the situation feeling worse. It may give you closure, it may give you everything you want, but you have to be ready to know that if you tell the other guy and he does reciprocate those feelings, then you have to break up with the other guy that you really love, and he has to break up with his girlfriend, and you guys have to make that situation work, even though he lives at an art school away from you. So you have to be aware that it may have catastrophic repercussions if it doesn't go the way that you hoped in your mind, because sometimes you have this fairy tale ending in your mind and it doesn't go that way. And sometimes it does. So you have to know that that is a possibility. It may not end the way you're hoping, or it might. But knowing that if it does go the way that you can be in love with that other guy, lust and love are a lot different. Love is never ending even after the lust has happened. So sometimes you'll be like, oh my God, I really love that person. But you really just want to have sex with them, or you want to kiss them. I've been in circumstances where I'm like, God, I really love that person. You kiss them or you have sex with them or something happens and you're like, nah, not so much. Kind of over it. Sometimes that situation, it's the wanting what you can't have feeling. So now he's with somebody else and you can't have him and now you want him. Know if that's the case or if it's true love, because a lot of things could really get fucked up over it, or you may end up with everything you've ever wanted. So that's ultimately your decision. I can't tell you whether you should do that or not, because I don't want to be responsible for what happens if you do. But if you really truly feel like that's the right way to go, then I would say know what could happen from the situation. Could be everything you've ever wanted, or it could ruin everything. So that sucks. That was a shitty answer. I'm really sorry. I'm gonna keep this one private as well. When I was a freshman in high school, I used to cut myself. It made horrible scars all over the insides and outsides of my arms. I don't do it anymore, and I never want to again. In fact, I regret it because now I've graduated from high school. I'm currently looking for a part-time job, and I'm afraid no one is going to hire me because of my scars. I live in Florida, so it's hot as hell all the time, especially summer, so I think I'll look stupid in long sleeves. I've tried all the creams and oils. I went to a dermatologist, even had a tattoo artist, and they did all they could but could never give me any real help or answers. So now I'm stuck with this disgusting mess and reminder on my arms every day. I'm scared I'll never be able to find a job or live a normal life. I'm really not sure what my question is. I'm sorry this is so long. I guess I would just ask you what you think I should do, or what you would do if it was you. I'm out of all options. I have no one left to go to. Thank you so much for taking the time to read or even answer it. Well, me personally, I would just wear long sleeves. You live in a hot area, but that's the easiest fix for me. You could wear 3/4 length sleeves like this, so where it doesn't look as weird, but it covers a lot of it. And then on those lower arm areas, you can try like Kat Von D Tattoo Concealer, which can help take some of the pigmentation away. Or you could just not be very expressive with your arms. Or you could just know that that was a part of your life that used to be, and now it's not anymore, and you have to live with those scars even though that's something that you regret doing. Don't live in regret. We hired a girl at as a receptionist at a very nice veterinary hospital, and she had scars all over her arms and nobody ever asked any questions. She had tattoos, she had piercings, because be a good and confident and nice person, and those kind of things, just own up to it. Say, that's who I used to be, I'm not anymore, and I'm going to move forward with my life. If you're very embarrassed by them, wear long sleeves. I know you live in a hot area, but it may be your answer because it will cover that. But if you want to just own it and live up to it and just know that that was who you were and it's not who you are now, just realize like shit happened that you didn't like, but you have to live with the reminder of what your life was like, and that's what it was, and you can't be embarrassed of that because it's who you were and you made it through it, and you're a strong and amazing person looking for a career today. So either try to cover them the best that you can with makeup or with sleeves, but know that it doesn't make you any less of a person, and no one will probably notice them. You're probably being more critical of that than they are going to be. So that's one thing I can tell you. I wish I had a better answer for you, but that's it. Knowing that you can cover them with long sleeves, or you can wear them out and proud and just not worry about it and don't even think about it. If somebody asks you, say, it's who I was, it's not who I am, and moving on with my life. And that is it for this raw advice video, you guys. Thank you so much for asking all of your amazing questions. I know these videos are long, but that's because I try to make it a point to answer everybody's question. I don't want to leave anybody out because you've taken the time to leave me a question, so I should take the time to leave you an answer. I hope some of my answers were helpful to some of you. If not, I'm very sorry. I'm just a person who tries to do my best. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have a question for my next raw advice video series, put it in the comments of this video. And if you want to keep it private, send me a private message to my RawBeautyKristi Facebook page, and I will keep it anonymous for my next video. If I missed your question, I'm sorry. I did the best that I could to go through all of the questions, but sometimes it's kind of hard because I get a lot of private ones that are sent to weird places and it's hard for me to find them later. So the best place to ask your question for the next video is either in the comments of this or in a private message on Facebook. I thank you guys so much for watching. If you would like to see more videos from me, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I put out new videos most every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Also, if you want to see more from me, high quality makeup pictures or funny Snapchats, follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat. Those are all at RawBeautyKristi, and the links for all of those will be in the description of this video. I thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you at my next video. Bye.